I am Abigail from BPA1A and now I am going to discuss about Turing's revolution. Turing's revolution. Alan Matheson Turing, British mathematician and logician, who made major contributions to mathematics, cryptanalysis, logic, philosophy, and mathematical biology, and also to the new areas later named computer science, cognitive science, artificial intelligence, and artificial life. Father of the modern computer, made famous by his cracking of the German Enigma codes at Bletchley Park during the Second World War. Born June 23, 1912, London, England. Died June 7, 1954. Turing won a scholarship to King's College, Cambridge, and took the mathematics degree. He thrived in a culture that encouraged his scientific interests, and as a young gay man he also found protection in the liberal ambience that the college provided. He invented the idea of a universal machine that could decode and perform any set of instructions. 10 years later he would turn this revolutionary idea into a practical plan for an electronic computer capable of running any program. Founder of modern computing. In 1936, Turing published a paper on computable numbers with an application to the Entscheidungs problem that is now recognized as the foundation of computer science. Turing analyzed what it meant for a human to follow a definite method or procedure to perform a task. Enigma cipher machine, a device used by the German military command to encode strategic messages before and during World War II. The Enigma machine, which combined electrical and mechanical components, was descended from a number of designs that were submitted for patent as early as 1918 in Germany and were produced commercially beginning in the early 1920s. It was battery-powered and highly portable. In addition to a keyboard, the device had a lamp board consisting of 26 stenciled letters, each with a small light bulb behind it, was electrically connected to a letter on the keyboard, but the wiring passed via a number of rotating wheels. Breaking the Enigma code. Turing returned to Britain and the British needed mathematicians to crack the German Navy's Enigma code. He joined the government's code-breaking department, called Ultra. Turing worked in the British top-secret government code and cipher school at Bletchley Park. Operation Ultra was the code name for the British cryptologists' efforts at Bletchley Park to intercept and break German-coded messages. Their code-breaking became an industrial process. 12,000 people worked 3 shifts 24/7. The bomb. In March 1940, Turing's first bomb electromechanical code-breaking machine was installed at Bletchley Park along with fellow codebreaker Gordon Welchman. This device helped to significantly reduce the work of the codebreakers. From mid-1940, German Air Force signals were being read at Bletchley and the intelligence gained from them was helping the war effort. This complex machine consisted of approximately 100 rotating drums, 10 miles of wire, and about 1 million soldered connections. The bomb searched through different possible positions of Enigma's internal wheels, looking for a pattern of keyboard to lamp board connections that would turn coded letters into plain German. Bletchley Park. British government cryptological establishment in operation during World War II, where Alan Turing and other agents of the Ultra Intelligence Project decoded the enemy's secret messages, most notably those that had been encrypted with the German Enigma and Tunny cipher machines. The main focus of Turing's work at Bletchley was in cracking the Enigma code. The Enigma was a type of enciphering machine used by the German armed forces to send messages securely. The electronic connection. In 1944, Turing worked on other technical innovations during the war, in particular, a system to encrypt and decrypt spoken telephone conversations. Turing was recruited to the National Physical Laboratory in 1945. Designs the first electronic computer. He moved to the University of Manchester, where electronic engineers had already demonstrated a very small stored program computer. Now he focused on the use of computers. His main theme had been in investigating the power of a computer to rival human thought. In 1945, the war over, Turing was recruited to the National Physical Laboratory, NPL, in London to create an electronic computer. His design for the Automatic Computing Engine, ACE, was the first complete specification of an electronic stored program all-purpose digital computer. This was a digital computer in the modern sense, storing programs in its memory. His report emphasized the unlimited range of applications opened up by this technological revolution, and software developments ahead of parallel American development. In 1950 he published a paper called Computing Machinery and Intelligence, including the idea of an imitation game for comparing human and machine outputs, called the Turing test. He had an idea that computers would become so powerful that they would think. He visualized a time when artificial intelligence, AI, would be a reality. Artificial intelligence pioneer, he theorized that the cortex at birth is an unorganized machine that through training becomes organized into a universal machine or something like it. Turing was a founding father of artificial intelligence and of modern cognitive science, and he was a leading early exponent of the hypothesis that the human brain is in large part a digital computing machine. He theorized that the cortex at birth is an unorganized machine that through training becomes organized into a universal machine or something like it. A Theory of Life. In 1951, Turing turned to a completely new scientific project, which explored his ability to use the Manchester computer. It was the problem of understanding the biological patterns, spots, stripes, flower petals, of nature. He proposed an explanation in terms of chemical interactions and developed equations for them. Convicted for gross indecency in 1952, Turing was prosecuted for gross indecency, as being gay was then a crime in Britain. He was sentenced to chemical castration. It's believed that this caused depression, and in 1954 Turing committed suicide by eating an apple poisoned with cyanide. Homosexuality, a crime in Britain at that time. Now with a criminal record, he would never again be able to work for Government Communications Headquarters, GCHQ, the British government's post-war code-breaking center. Thank you. Thank you.